Hello everyone, and welcome to the second part to why posture is our first line of defense. Now, in order for us to understand why posture is so crucial when we talk about prevention in self-defense, we need to understand what violence is all about at its core. Violence is always about power. And power is always about psychology. Therefore, we can conclude that violence is always about psychology. And if we understand at the core that violence is about power and power is about psychology, well, then we can understand that the best way to deter violence is through our own power. It's through empowering ourselves. And the best way for us to manifest power physically is through our posture. So violence is always about power. Now, it is always about someone who wants power, and they will take it from other people so that they can feel powerful, right? So when we look at bullies or those who harass, those who are verbally, psychologically, even physically violent, it is always a question of taking power from other people. In most cases, it is about someone who has low self-esteem, who doesn't feel so good about themselves. They feel insecure, they have fear, they feel vulnerable, and they don't want to show that. And so in order for them to make themselves feel better, they'll take it out on other people. They'll intimidate, control, manipulate, right? These are all behaviors that allows us to have power over other people. Now, if we think about power a little bit more, we'll realize that power is always about psychology, because if we go back to the concept of those who need power and take it from other people, they do so by controlling other people, manipulating, being passive-aggressive. They do it by belittling, harassing, being verbally abusive, insulting, condescending, making people look bad to other people, spread rumors, right? These are all ways that we claim power by demeaning other people, by making other people feel bad about themselves. And that is purely psychological. Now, if I take it the other way, if we perceive it from a different angle, when we feel powerful, when we truly feel strong, when we feel good about ourselves, we never feel the need to control, to manipulate, to intimidate, ever. We don't want to be passive-aggressive. We want to be clear. We want to be open. We want to communicate in a way that is assertive, right? We want others to feel strong, because we know that when people feel strong, that's where we all are at our best. That's where we are all at our most creative, at our most passionate. That's where life is at its best, right? When we feel strong, we don't feel threatened by other people. That notion of threat in some people is what will make them need to grab and latch on to others so that they can feel more powerful. And people like that will want to diminish and insult and make other people feel bad so that they can feel better in comparison, and therefore better about themselves. Now, we'll have downloads on how to deal with that and how to get out of that cycle, right? Because everyone should be able to feel empowered, because if everybody was empowered, there would be no violence. Now, I know, I'm a bit of a dreamer, but that is what I believe. So now we need to understand that the best way to deter violence is through empowering ourselves, right? The stronger we feel about ourselves, the less interesting we are to perpetrators of violence, regardless of the type of violence that they perpetrate. Right? Because when we feel truly strong, perpetrators of violence, they know it, they feel it, and they don't want to have to deal with someone that's strong, that's powerful. And don't get me wrong, there's always like a 1 to 4% of, the population who likes a challenge and wants to destroy other people, feel no remorse. Those people, they exist, right? We call them psychopaths and sociopaths. And they are capable of destroying pretty much anyone. However, the more empowered we are, the more we can see them coming, the more we can recognize them, and the more we can leave and avoid them altogether. Right? We don't have to play those mind games. And that's why we so need to understand that power is always about psychology. Always. Now, the good news about that is that we all have the capacity to defend ourselves psychologically, right? There's no question of physical size when it comes to psychological strength. No matter how small, how big, how tall, how slim, no matter how old we are, psychology is the key. And that's why it's such an important component to understand when we're talking about self-defense, and therefore, ideally, prevention in self-defense. Now, if we understand that power is about being strong, feeling strong, well then the best way to manifest, to physically demonstrate strength and power is through our posture. Having a strong posture, because as we saw in the first clip, body language is 80 to 90% of how we communicate with people. So if we understand all of these components, then we understand why demonstrating a powerful posture will absolutely tell potential predators that we are not an interesting target. In fact, that we are what some people call a hard target, that we will take a stand, that we won't tolerate any kind of violent or abusive behavior. And that's why posture is so important, because at a psychological level, it sends the most important message that we are strong, that we are empowered, and that we just won't take their crap, regardless of the type of violence that they perpetrate. Thank you so much for watching, and before you go, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you are always made aware of the new content that is coming up. Now, in the meantime, if you have any questions or if there's any topic that you would like me to address, please send me a line either via email or through your comments underneath, and it will be my pleasure to answer you as quickly as possible. Till next time, stay safe, stay strong, and stay true to you.